A new swimbait company out of Europe arrives in the shop. Megabass releases the next limited edition Respect Series color, and the long-awaited re-release and the last drop of the OSP rubber dice for a year. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle.
Oh, what a stud.
Yeah. Look at that.
That was sick.
Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday.
All right, guys, some breaking
This is
news.
what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle.
What a beautiful post-spawn fish.
Look at that.
Look at that gut on that. That's a nice fish.
Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, a Tackle Taku on Instagram, being joined this fine Sunday morning by my buddy Jeffrey the King.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Top of the morning to you, sir. Would you like a cold one?
Wow.
Mine's already
You
popped.
brought out
I'm
the
ready.
bottle.
I've been waiting.
Not even the can.
Would you like one?
I'm fine. It's so early.
I had a whole 6-pack of cans.
Yeah.
Julius was in here shooting
Oh,
videos.
So they're gone.
There's no cans.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he took them.
Right. But
The fucker owes me a 6-pack.
things add up.
That's all. That's all I can say. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday morning. We're the Hookup Tackle USA, by the way. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. We highlight new product drops, important restocks. Make sure you guys are on top of everything. We drink the most delicious beer in the world, Orion.
Doesn't get old, huh?
It's like me. Stay youthful and delicious forever,
It
Jeff.
ages like fine wine.
Don't look at me like that. All right, let's jump into some stuff. We saved a couple of gems for this week, and by saved, I mean custom saved for us. So finally, these are here. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for these. This is one of the strangest baits to come out over the last couple years. One of the hottest baits to come out over the last couple years. It's literally taken the bass fishing world by storm. And we are talking about the OSP dice rubber. Okay, so the Saikoro rubber, whatever you want to call it, hairy dice, dice rubber, crazy dice, it is here. Now there are two versions, the non-salt and the max salt. Okay, and we're going to talk through this because of a couple things. A, we haven't had these since the spring, and a lot of you guys have been chomping at the bit to get these back, right? And B, the next production run for dice is going to be June 2024. Okay, so don't shoot me. I'm doing the best I can, but the factory won't be able to manufacture these again until then, because every factory is just they're crammed, right? So if you want these, I know a lot of you guys are maybe coming to the end of your fishing season. A lot of you guys up north, I know you have shorter windows, but use your brain to think out into the future, right? If you can envision yourself needing these in March or April and May, this is your chance to get them. In April and May, there's not going to be any, okay? So, two different versions. There is a non-salt and a max salt. So let's talk about these for a little bit. So first of all, here is the dice rubber. If this is a new concept to you, you're probably wondering what the heck we're even doing with this thing. But it is essentially a cube in the shape of a dice with skirt material that comes off of it, okay? It's designed, you can see it's almost designed like a pyramid, okay? So it goes a little bit more narrow on one side. This is the top. The wider side is the bottom, okay? So there you go, the bottom and the top. So when you rig this, you just take your little nose hook and you go through the top and straight out. And then that way, as you're pulling it, it's going to maintain its shape and it's not going to be rolling and twisting and doing that. That's kind of the magic of this bait. Now, it was interesting when we interviewed Toshi and we asked him, what was this designed to imitate, right? And he's like, a rubber dice. It's like,
Logical.
okay. Yeah.
Logical.
Okay, so basically the idea is that this is just a bait that's piquing interest in the fish. It doesn't mimic a shad, doesn't mimic a crawfish. It's just one of those things that is hovering or slow sinking or moving, and the fish really don't know what it is. And their way of investigating is to put it in their mouth and figure out what it is. And if you follow any of the Japan tournaments, pretty much every major tournament in Japan on Lake Biwa for this year has been won on this thing. Now you can fish it a couple different ways. You can fish it weightless, so if the fish are cruising, if you have cruising fish, if you have bedded fish, if you have anything that you can kind of sight fish, right? You can throw it weightless. Takes a real whippy spinning rod, right? Lighter braid. You can go to 10 or 12, 14 pound, leader if you want to, but you need to really just kind of whip it out there, put it in front of the fish. It's going to slow sink down. They're just going to look at it. You maybe just twitch it once so it moves. They come over and eat it almost every time. It's the craziest thing ever. Jeff and I have taken these from Arizona to Michigan to New York. I mean, we've literally had these things everywhere, and largemouth, smallmouth, it works the same. Tennessee, right? The other way a lot of guys are using this in Japan is on a drop shot. Okay, so it turns out that it's an amazing drop shot bait because, like anything on a drop shot, as you lift it up, it has the ability to kind of come off the bottom and then slow sink back down. And again, those fish that are sitting on the bottom are staring at this, and it's not like, they see so many worms or paddle tail swim baits or different things. It's just a trigger for them, okay? So, non-salt is going to sink a little bit slower. Max salt is going to sink a little bit faster. Okay, so that's how you gauge the two. It's not that one floats and one sinks, it's just sink rate. So watching Toshi fish these, he interchanges them all the time constantly. Even if he's on a drop shot, sometimes he wants the max salt so it can sink down to the bottom faster and lift up and it sinks down. Sometimes when he's just throwing it weightless, he wants the non-salt. So it has a super, super slow sink rate. So use the two to kind of mix and match to what you guys needed to do, okay? Now, there are only 4 colors in this release, and this is gonna be it until June, okay? So, fortunately, they're all good colors, okay? So, there's a couple of shrimps, all right? So you got the Moebi, you've got your shrimp colors, you've got your smoke lemon, and you have green pumpkin. Okay, so green pumpkin's our #1 selling color. There are other colors, there's a pink, there's a white, there's a black. Those are used more for like spawn and seeing the fish on the bed. And we should see those back again June 2024, okay? So, if you've been waiting, this is the chance to scoop these up. I got as many as I could. So I hope there's enough to get everybody some, but the way everybody buys these, they come 4 to a pack, so you kind of have to buy a bunch of packs if this is something that you use a lot and catch a lot of fish on. So there you go. Happy shopping, everyone. Enjoy them. The OSP dice rubber is available right now. All right, Jeff, let's jump over to Megabass for a minute.
Okay.
So one of my favorite times each month is when the next edition of Respect Series color drops happens. This is a color drop that I feel like they've just been holding on to and holding on to, and it was supposed to drop in August.
Yeah.
And then, August was coming to an end. They're like, yeah, it'll be end of August, and then August came. Finally, it's here. So I know a lot of you guys have been chomping at the bit for this one. Before I spoil it for you, I'm gonna let Jeff show you this really dope color. Super excited for this. Jeff, take this sucker away, will you? Good job, Jeffrey.
This color is unbelievable.
You said as you were filming that this might be your favorite Respect Series color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sick. I'm so sad it's not in like an ice light.
Same. Okay, so
God.
most Respect Series colors come in like 13, 14 different baits.
I'd say so, yeah.
This one came in 10. And
Came down on me.
when I saw that, I'm like, bro, like,
Come
the
on.
coolest one.
Yeah.
Why did we just make it in everything? No junior,
No.
ice slide, right? It's like, oh,
Please.
dude, you're
Come
killing me
on.
here. But grateful to have them in the baits that we have. What is it that speaks to you about this color?
Well, I like the matte finish on this Hasu pattern.
Mhm.
I love the colors. It's like, you know, first look, it's like, whoa, there's purple and orange and yellow and blue and all this, but it has this very natural vibe to it as well at the same time. And it's just, the matte finish makes it really stand out. You got a nice pearl belly too to go along with it. It's just badass.
If
dude.
you told me,
Yeah,
or you told somebody,
Uh-huh.
I got this color idea. We're gonna put red, chartreuse, orange,
Yeah.
green,
Yep.
blue, silver, all into one bait. I would think you were
Dumbass.
fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you've been hanging out with Griff too long, right? But then you see it all come together, and it's like, bro, it's
Gosh.
beautiful.
Yep.
So here you guys go. This is Frozen Hasu. Now, a couple months back, we had pink back Frozen Hasu. So essentially the same color, minus the pink back. It's more of a natural tone. Okay, so interesting that Megabass would kind of drop the same shade in the same year, right? But I'm grateful they did because it's super dope. So let me run through these baits with you really quick. Just make sure that you guys know the 10 baits they come in. You can buy these individually. You can buy them as a full set. This is going to be a one-time drop. So if it speaks to you, and it's probably going to speak to almost all of you, there, the Division 110.
Thank you.
That's gone. Okay, one fewer of those. Griff will rejoice.
Yeah.
It is in the eye-wing, and
Yep.
it looks dirty in the
looks
eye-wing.
so
So if you guys are crawler guys,
That's
I don't
a
know how
cool
you don't
one.
get this one. Okay, so it is in the eye-wing. It was available in the Pop Max. I'm just gonna say it like that every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
I don't understand. Every Respect Series color, people just lose their minds over the Pop Max. So Pop Max, and it looks dope in the Pop Max.
So sick.
Yep. All right, Koyayu Slide Sinker
Ooh.
is available in that, and it looks sick in that.
I like that one too.
So keep in mind the Koyayu Slide Sinker. I think a lot of guys misunderstand this bait. This is a slow sinking, like subsurface walking bait. So it's a great one to throw out, and you're just going to twitch it just like you would a walking topwater bait, and it's going to literally just kind of have these little darting movements to it. It's a super dope bait, right? So that is available. I know you opened these packages, so try to cover up. Deep X 200 LBO, no
I
brainer.
love that one. That
It
one's
looks dirty.
so sick, dude.
It's
Especially
such a
in
good bait, and then to see
Yeah,
it
I
in
know.
that pattern.
the-
Yeah. So it's in that one. It's in the Live-X Margay,
Oh.
which doesn't come around very often. This is a 68 millimeter quarter ounce bait. Okay, so it's kind of a smaller bait, but it looks disgusting in that
The
as
colors
well.
just look so clean.
Yeah,
dude.
so this is just a downsizing little jerk bait, shad, kind of cross type bait. So you can do a lot of stuff with that. It's in the Live-X Model 1 LBO. So this is the new bait that Megabass released this year. Kind of a crankbait, but you can also sweep it like a shad style bait. You can twitch it. So again, real versatile bait. It's in the Giant Dog X. It looks disgusting in every one.
In
Every
every
time
one,
I
bro.
pull a bait, I'm like, oh, it looks great in that. Well,
Yeah.
of course it does, because the colors
Yeah.
are awesome. It is in the Pop X. And it is in the X Nanahan. Okay, so there you go. 10 baits, Frozen Hasu. These are gonna fly out of here, so if any of them speak to you and you haven't grabbed them already, make sure you jump over there, scoop them up. Those are available from Megabass. All right, while we are on Megabass, a couple of restocks just to touch base on really quick. One of the hottest, I'm gonna just call it small baits. I was gonna call it a micro bait, but it's not really a micro bait. One of the hottest little baits of the year, the Megabass Karashi, is back in every color. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this. This thing has been flying out of here this year. It's been getting a ton of press, a lot of, you know, really good channels, bigger channels than us, Tactical Bass and some of those guys have really been talking a lot about this bait, so it's gotten a lot of notice. It's a super dope bait. It's a slow sinking bait that, again, you twitch similar to that Kauai slide sinker,
Very.
where it's kind of a subsurface walking bait, but it's a little bit lighter, and sometimes it comes out of the surface, sometimes it's below the surface. So it's really just kind of a surface wake kind of thing that works amazing when fish are feeding on small little bait. So a lot of times when they're on small bait or, you know, little shad or little bluegills, a lot of times those fish hang closer to the top of the water. This bait kind of bridges that gap between bait finesse and finesse. It's kind of right in that middle. Just to spec it out for you, it is 3/16 of an ounce and 50 millimeters, okay? So you are gonna need either a spinning rod or some, you know, lighter bait finesse-ish type gear to throw it. But all the colors from Frozen Pink to Shireo, Kasumi Ito, the Wakasagis, right? All the colors are back in the Karashi. We also see a huge restock on Deep Sixes this week. So all colors across the board in core that we've been missing. Plus we still have a handful of JDM colors that are kind of hiding in there. I think people have just kind of forgot about them. So I'm just gonna touch base really quick. So colors like MB Gizzard that have been out for a long time. Biwako Clear Gill has been out. Biwa Hasu Secret is still sitting over there. SB Shadow Craw is back. SB Boiled Craw is still sitting over there. There's a few units. Shocker, Adrenaline Red. So Deep Six is an amazing one for this time of the year. So if you guys have been waiting for colors, this is the week for Megabass. And while we're on crankbaits, same thing applies to the Deep X 300. There's a bunch of JDM only colors, but all the core colors that have been kind of missing from the lineup come back in this week as well. So the gills, the chartreuses, right? All those return from Megabass. All right, Jeff, let's talk about a new bait and a new brand for the shop. You ready?
Okay.
This is in your realm.
Ooh.
Okay? This
I like
is
my
something
realm.
that we talk about a lot, and this
Okay.
is a glide bait.
But
What'd you think we were talking about?
no,
Bug baits?
no.
Relax. I thought you were retiring from that. Are you back in?
I'm back in, baby.
Now that I've heard you say that,
Yeah.
I have some big plans. Not for today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your custom color bug baits will be here soon, though.
Oh, thank God.
That'd be a good, like, GoFundMe page, wouldn't it? All right, we are talking about a new glide bait from a company based in Europe called Swimbait Republic. So this is the Glideway 176. Now, if you guys hang out on Instagram, you have seen a lot of hype over this bait. It's a single joint glide bait, and it works as advertised. In fact, I'll take it out. So, I don't know much about Swimbait Republic. Do you know a lot about the brand?
Not a thing, sir.
Okay, so what I do know is that they're a group of pretty dedicated, how'd you even get this bait out of this package? I know they're a group of pretty dedicated swim bait guys. So, you know, most of the time when you're a company in Europe, you're building things for pike and perch. Those are the two main fish species over there that most lure builders build for. Bass are typically an afterthought, right? So most bass fishermen are grabbing tackle out of Japan or the USA, or, you know, same way that we're doing it. Thank you, sir. This company's a little bit unique. Even if you follow their Instagram, bass are right in the mix, if not like a focus. So it's kind of exciting to see a new kind of breath of life come in. As far as I know, this is their first offering in this realm. So it's kind of interesting. So here you go. Here is a look at the Glideway 176. Now it weighs about 80 grams and it comes with no weight. So it's gonna come as a slow float. It also comes with the ability to add weight. So this one we've added weight in there. So by the time you put the two weights in there, if you wanna make it a slow sink, you're gonna be about 3 ounces on this thing. So it's a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier than a similar sized bait of this in like an ice slide. Ice slide's 2 ounces, this is 3, or I don't know, a slide swimmer or something like that. So no going in, it is gonna be a little bit heavier. It comes with a welded ring on the front eye, and they recommend that you tie direct to that welded ring instead of adding an additional snap or additional split ring. But you guys can play with it and see for yourselves what that does. Like most single joint glide baits, it's designed to move side to side.
Whoa.
Right? Shocking, right? So, you know, every bait has a different movement. You guys will have to play with this one and see how it fits into your, you know, game plan in your arsenal. On a straight retrieve, it has a really exaggerated movement. Okay, so I would say if you're comparing it to something like the iSlide 187, which we just launched a couple weeks ago, it has a much wider, more exaggerated movement on just a straight retrieve, which would lead me to believe that that's more of a pike in mind type of movement, right? On the actual chopping or gliding of it, you kind of have to be fairly aggressive with it. They talk about it being a slow moving bait, but that's not what I'm finding so far. I'm finding that you kind of have to be relatively aggressive, or if you're slow, it has a tendency to turn pretty far, almost too far, to where then when you pull it back, it's kind of got a strange movement to it. So if you're looking for a bait that you can kind of fish relatively quick, this might be an interesting one for you guys to try, okay? Tails are removable, and there are spare tails available as well, so you can mix and match colors, or if you want to pick up, tails, they're in varieties of colors. There's also weight strips that you can get that are designed to go straight to the bottom of this thing. So there's 2 cavities down there. So if you want to buy the ones that are actually designed, then you can mix and match how much sink or how much float you want, okay? So I'm going to fly through these colors with you. This is a very small offering in the beginning, so all these colors are going to sell out pretty quick. I don't have an ETA in restock because they haven't been able to get me that information yet either, okay? So I don't have a lot of info for you other than, here's a new bait. By the way, $79.99. So it's not the cheapest glide on the market and the most expensive. It's kind of in the middle. So to be, I don't know, it's gonna be one we're gonna have to play with and try and see what we can determine, okay? So let's run through the colors. Purple Shiner, it's kind of a straightforward Wakasagi, kind of a no-brainer there. This guy is Gold Rush. UV Tiger. I know those last 2 colors really spoke to you, Jeff. I saw the excitement in your face.
Well, I've seen that gold before.
Yeah?
Ryuta-san, Tokyo Gold.
Oh, is that kind of the Tokyo Gold? It is very similar to the Tokyo Gold.
The black.
It's kind of a pretty much a Kincoo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We have Supernatural. And by the way, I'm learning these colors with you guys. We just unboxed them, okay? Radioactive. After Party. Why do you think After Party is all white?
No clue, actually.
Okay. Thank you, Griff. Bone Soldier. Galaxy Mirror. Kind of cool one. Moonwalker. Hallie?
It's like a clear albino.
Yeah, Hallie. And Grenade. Okay, so there are the colorways. The Glideway 176 from Swimbait Republic. They are available now. I should point out really quick while we're on the Glideway, a couple things I didn't mention. It does come with BKK trebles. Okay, so your hooks in theory should be good, but they might need to be changed size-wise depending on how you want your sink rate. Okay, so keep that in mind, but out of the package, they're gonna be good. It does come with a spare tail as well. Now, on the package, it says spare tail, Enigma color question mark. The one that we just opened, the tail color was different than the one that comes on the bait. So keep in mind that it is going to come with a spare tail. It's a mystery what the color is. It also comes with the 2 sticky weights, and these are sticky. So Jeff was thinking maybe initially they were like inserts because they're flush, but the bait comes without these, and there's just like a little pocket that you could just add the weight. Okay, so that way everything's flush and you know exactly where to put the weights, and all the instructions are on the back as well if you want to see it. So there you go, there's the Glideway. All right, Jeff, I know you were stoked when you saw this at ICAST, so I know you have been dying to add this to your arsenal from Evergreen.
Finally.
Yes. So I know you're probably thinking like combat stick or something like that.
Well, yeah, what else would you feed?
The bowworm noodle. Look at that, the worms are even falling in slow motion to create drama. The bowworm noodle is now available. Yes. So just what we needed, another skinny worm. I wasn't super stoked about this one when it came out, but you know, look, if you guys are into this style worm, there are a lot of worms like this in this really skinny worm category. This might be one to think of adding. Essentially, you know, this worm was kind of designed or this style worm was really designed in Japan to be like a more of a finesse, like neko rig, or almost like wacky rig, unweighted kind of bait, right? Here in Japan, after talking to most of the evergreen guys, or I mean here in the US, after talking to most of the guys, most of the guys here in the US don't do that. They just throw it on a nose hook and they drop shot it, okay? So you're gonna see a lot of these drop shotted, and it does have a different motion than what a traditional thicker worm would be. The idea behind a thin worm, whether it's this one, the Raid, OSP, whichever one you're getting, is that thin worm just has a different movement. It's just something different, right? That the fish aren't used to seeing yet. They're used to seeing thicker plastics and more of this type of movement. The thinner worm kind of has a faster, tighter vibration and just a little different movement going down. So it might find a home in your arsenal, okay? Evergreen kept this super simple. There are 4 colors, okay? So you're not gonna have to confuse yourself too much. See if they're bright and put the colors on the package. They did. Green pumpkin, special mimizu, natural eel, dark plum. Okay, 4 colors, all pretty straightforward, standard colors. So there you go, the bowworm noodle from Evergreen, those are available now. All right, new product from Daiwa. Okay, what goes through your head?
A new product?
Yeah.
Is it
new product from Daiwa? What
high
do you
end,
think?
please? Not like a Tatula, anything like that?
So you think reels?
Yeah.
While we're on reels,
Oh, so it is a reel.
we do have Exist back.
That's not
I knew you were
real.
going to say reel. This is just a restock. This isn't new.
That's not
I'm
new.
just using you. I knew you were going to say reel. We have Exist back. So I know a lot of you have been waiting on Exist. Both
Okay.
3000s, 2500s, they're back.
Yep.
So they always fly out of here. The greatest spinning reel of all time created for freshwater bass fishing. Sorry, Shimano, but it is. No, that's not what I was about to talk about. I'm here today to talk to you about a brand new KO jig from Daiwa. You're a saltwater guy. You should be excited. No? Jeff?
We could have just kept with the reels.
But it's cool.
Is it?
I don't know. Hey, it's new. It has hooks. That's a thing. So here you go. I don't really know much about this. I brought him in because, you know, we do a lot of this smaller, you know, spoon style fishing. I'm just going to read you the description from Daiwa. The KO jig works for mimicking micro bait and excels in tough fishing conditions. You can drop, twitch, pause, fast retrieve, long lift, or mix and match. Enjoy your catch, and welcome to the world of super light jigging, SLJ. So they acronymed it, super light jigging.
How many grams are we talking here?
All right, so these are available in 2 sizes, a 20 gram and a 30 gram. Again, just a handful of colors. So they're all your pretty straightforward saltwater type colors.
Yep.
Some of these might cross over into freshwater. I mean,
That could totally work.
you know, pretty straightforward. I don't know if you need like blue and pink, but
We
you
got
could.
it. Yep.
Okay, so there you go. It's an interesting shaped jig. I can't even take the damn thing out of the package, but hold on, I do want to. Hold on, stand by. I know you really wanted this to be a new Tatula, Jeff. I'm sorry I let you down.
I'm always looking for the next Tatula. I wish they made like a Tatula 350.
I'm waiting for the Tatula 217 and the 169. That's what they're missing. Daiwa's probably listening right now, writing all this down. All right, so here's a look at the KO jig. So, you know, it's got that kind of, you know, asymmetrical shape where obviously it's, you know, more bulbous on the one side, flatter on the other side, which is gonna have it kind of just shift as it falls. So, I mean, it should be a really good jig. Daiwa is known for making really good, like the SK jig and some of the bigger like tuna style jigs. So this is kind of the first foray into the smaller realm. So if it speaks to you guys, they're available. That's the KO jig from Daiwa. All right, Jeff, let's talk about Deps for a minute. So last week we had a huge Deps stock with full flats and Sakamadas and all that. We actually had quite a bit more. We just ran out of time last week. So we're gonna finish the Deps segment up this week. So some of you guys have found these kind of floating around the site this week as we've been adding them in. Some of these are restocks, some of these are new items. Let's jump in real fast. So let's start with jig heads. So a head that a lot of you guys have been asking us to bring in. has now arrived, and this is the Deps Spike Head. Now, this is a head that was originally designed as a tube head. Okay, so it's designed originally, even if you look at the back of the package, it's designed kind of to insert into a tube. But this style head has become very popular for mid-strolling. So you can take this head, you can insert it on the top of like a Sakamata shad or whatever you're mid-strolling, some of your bigger strolling baits, and it can be completely inside. There's no head on the front. And a lot of you guys prefer that style head. If that's you, this could be a great one. There's available in some lighter sizes like 1.8 grams. Yep. And then even some heavier sizes into like 5 grams, 7 gram stuff, so you can kind of mix and match what you need. So spike heads from Deps, those are available. There's also the swimming jig head is now available from Deps. So this is designed really just as kind of like a straightforward swim head. It's not anything super fancy. It's just going to give the bait a little bit different action. And when you pop it up and down, you're gonna hear us start to talk about a technique coming out of Japan called the wind. Okay, so stay tuned. You're gonna hear more and more about this as the months go on. This can certainly be used as that style head where you can just swim it and it's going to have kind of that rocking motion. If you pop it, it's flat enough on the bottom to where it will kind of dart side to side as well. Those are available from Deps. And then the RR Jig Head, which is basically a round revolution is what that's speaking about. You can use it as just a traditional round head. You can also do, you know, mid-strolling, hover strolling, that kind of stuff with it as well. Okay, so 3 new jig heads from Deps. While we're on jigs, we see the first restock in a long time on some of the Deps jigs. So I know a lot of you guys are fans of these. The Violator Jig is back in all colors. This is a great one, kind of a full-sized jig for pitching and flipping. It's got a big hook on it. It's built heavy duty. It's just a great one for just kind of run and bank, pitching docks, pitching toolie patches, you know, isolated cover, that kind of stuff. Some really good colors. Those are back. We also see one of my favorite finesse football jigs, the headlock jig, comes back in a bunch of colors in 3/8 ounce, half ounce, 5/8 ounce. So both the weedless and the traditional are back in colors. Not every color. Deps isn't making these as often as they were, so if there's anything that speaks to you that's close, I would just go ahead and grab that one, okay? So those are back. The super headlock jig is also back. So the super headlock is basically gonna be a longer skirt, a little longer hook, so the hook comes back a little bit, and more strands of skirt material. So just a little bit bulkier, no weed guard, but just a little bulkier compact jig. Those are back. And then finally, the Hyper Football Jig also returns. This is going to be more of a straightforward, like full-size football jig without a weed guard. Okay, and we talk about this a lot. If you guys don't need the weed guard, it's just getting in the way of your hook sets. So if you're fishing around lots of, you know, I don't know, wood and things where you need that weed guard to kind of bounce your jig off of, then obviously you got to throw a weed guard. But if you're fishing sand or rock and things where that weed guard isn't really preventing any snags, the more you get away from weed guards, the better your hook sets are going to be, the better your land ratio is going to be. Okay, so there are some great options from Deps. Those are all in stock. All right, staying on Deps, just a couple of quick restocks. Deathhadders are back in all sizes. So the 5-inch is my favorite size to go on the back of a chatterbait. I use this one all the time to take a jackhammer and tighten it, right? So if you use a jackhammer and a Zocco, as you wind, it's got kind of a wider wobble. You put a Deathadder on the back of it, it tightens it, so it's more of a tight pitch, and it's kind of solid enough that you can add a trailer hook if you need to. There's a 4-inch, there's a 5-inch, and we see a restock in the 8-inch as well. Okay, so Jeff just got peaked. Okay, got a big worm for you, Jeff. So this is probably not going to go on the back of a chatterbait. You could, and I want to see pictures of it, but this is probably something you're gonna just kind of throw weightless or, you know, do your thing with. Okay, so 3 sizes of Deathhadders. Those are back from Deps. Oh, that Max,
yeah,
Z-Man big blade,
yeah.
Max. Yeah, I mean, dude, you put an 8-inch Deathadder back there, it's gonna be like a 2.5 ounce chatterbait.
Ridiculous.
Several weeks ago, we brought you guys that 13-inch Kincoo Air.
The best worm ever made.
Sick ass worm, yep. Right? There are still a few colors left in that. We see some of the smaller sizes and some key colors come in now. So if you guys were waiting on a more practical size for day-to-day use, the 5/8s are back in all the key colors, the reds, the green pumpkins, all that kind of stuff. So those are back in stock as well. And then we had a lot of conversation about spy baiting this week. Okay, it's a really fun technique. I've enjoyed all the conversation I had with you guys, mainly talking about like the duo spin baits, right? If you want to go the opposite direction, there is a version that Deps makes called the Calling Hustler. Okay, it's massive. It's 125 millimeters, 30 grams. Okay, so you're over an ounce here, but it's the same idea, is that it's a spin bait style or a spy baiting style bait. It does have this kind of bar that comes off the bottom that's designed to just kind of keep the hooks from snagging, so it kind of drags on the bottom down there. So there are some guys that go crazy over these, and I can see it regionally. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because they obviously have something figured out. Every time they come in, they buy like 20 or 30 of them. So I know people have figured this out and they're jacking them on it. It might be something fun to play with for you guys. I don't know. It's
what rod am I fishing this on?
This is an intimidating sucker. Cool. I mean, this is going to have to go on like a Mad Bull or a BMG, or like Mark 56 would be a perfect one. Yep. So there you go. There's a look at it. It's big, right? It's big.
That's
but
no joke.
Again, designed to basically do the same thing as a spin bait. It basically just has a really tight pitch wobble. It's got the blades. It does have that internal kind of knocking spring, the same as a slide swimmer. Right? So you're not going to really get any knock out of this because it's not a bait that is like moving side to side. But you can see that even as I'm holding it and I'm moving it, that spring does have some vibration to it. Right, so that little vibration, can you see it in there, Jeff? It is still like little micro vibrations. It is kind of pulsing out. So it's an interesting bait, might be worth trying. That's the Calling Hustler from Deps. All right, one more quick restock. We are coming to that time of the year where the big flutter spoon is, you know, got a lot of game. My favorite big flutter spoon is back from Deps. This is the Gurkha knife. Okay, so it's available in 2 sizes, available in basically like a 165 millimeter 2-ounce size, which is this tiny little guy, and then it's available in a 4.7 ounce 240 millimeter big ginormica guy. Okay, so I've thrown both of these a lot. What I can tell you is every time I throw the smaller one, I catch stripers. Every time I throw the big one, I catch largemouth.
Interesting.
Don't know why, but that's been my personal experience. Griff throws this thing a ton. It's a popular one. The only thing that sucks about the Gurkha, it's expensive because it's Deps. It doesn't come with hooks. I know you laughed when I said, hey, this Daiwa comes with hooks, but that's actually like a thing. Right? So you do have to add your own hooks. You're going to add a split ring and hooks. You can add a treble. I usually use like those owner, like Stinger single hooks, you know, on the ropes. Those tend to work great. Griff, you walked over here when I held these up. What do you have to say? Okay.
Not a single thing. Okay,
perfect. So there you go, guys. If you want to try something different, or if you've been waiting on a big flutter spoon, this big one, by the way, it feels like a car bumper. Like it's like
it feels like you're getting bit.
Like you throw it out there and you feel it falling. It's just like, and like it's so great. You know exactly what it's doing, which is dope. Because a lot of times when I go from this to like the Lake Fork spoon, I can't tell what the hell the Lake Fork spoon's doing. I know it's sinking because I'm watching my line, but it's not like I feel it. This one, you can kind of feel everything that's happening. So it's kind of a cool one. So there you go. Gurkha knives are available. And then the item that I know everybody's been waiting for from Deps.
Flashlight.
No, UV light.
A UV flashlight.
A UV LED light from Deps.
From Deps.
Okay. Not to be confused with a flashlight.
Oh, it's just like a flashlight.
But it says Deps on it.
Oh, that's what it is.
Okay. So, why do you need this?
Talk to me.
Oh, I thought that was a question.
Oh, that was a question.
So, let me answer my own question, Jeff. So, a lot of you guys use baits that say glow on them. Okay? So, a lot of these baits are designed to go under a UV light. You can hit your UV light on them. You can get your bait to glow. So, whether it's like a glow chartreuse and a Hazardong shad, or you know, an Evoke that's glow or anything like that, if it says glow, a lot of times just hitting it with the UV light will get it to have that really brightness. Some of you guys love that. Some of you guys hate that. This is just, it's like a color thing, right? So it's available. It's just, for me, it's cool because it says Deps. So there you go. If that speaks to you, it does take 3 AAAs, by the way, not included. So you will need batteries.
Yeah.
But there you go. Those are available.
I know I think you have one in your boat.
All right, Jeff. We're about to talk about a topic that is something that we talk about all the time here. I know it's one of your favorite topics. Are you ready? Jeff, talking to you.
Me?
Why are you looking around? There's not more than one Jeff here, thank God.
I didn't know you were talking to me.
Should I have said Geoff?
Your head must be sweaty right now.
I'm freaking dying, dude. But, you know, I will sacrifice my body to
man,
show how
you-
dope things are.
You look weird in a beanie.
Are you ready for this conversation?
Holy shit.
What do you think we're talking about?
Fashion?
Socks, baby. You just spit. I was gonna wait for you to take a sip. All right. I know this is a strange conversation to have at a fishing store, but look, most of us wear socks, unfortunately. If I could just live in flip-flops, I would. But Simms does make amazing socks. Okay. So the reason we're talking about this is they expanded their daily sock line to a bunch of really cool patterns. So the daily sock, look, I live in Arizona.
Yeah.
So 90% of the time, I'm in shorts and like short socks because I'm an old guy. You are in shorts and like calf socks.
Yeah.
You'd look better in probably this rainbow trout sock.
You think that rainbow trout?
This
sock-
is more you. You take the rainbow trout. Okay. Griff, I think you're more of this guy, Regiment Camo Olive Drab. This is more your speed. You can have this one. I'm more of like a steel gray, probably. Right? Or cutty red. Like that one's pretty dope. Steel gray matches your haircut. Griff, give me that sock back. You don't get no fucking socks. Okay, so long story short, there are some dope sock colors. Everybody gotta wear a sock. You might as well have some fish prints or some cool things on there. The daily sock is literally just a daily use sock. So I'm not gonna hike in this. I'm not gonna wade in this. It's just something that I wear day to day in a normal shoe, but it's still fishing related. It's kind of cool. So those are available now. All right, I gotta get to this next segment because I'm literally dripping sweat down my neck. Beanies are in, the new beanies. Wow, finally, get rid of that. Ooh, sheesh, that's a warm one. Okay, couple new beanies to tell you about. This one is called the Tip Up Palm Beanie. Okay, definitely not my style.
Oh, it's not.
I mean, I look good in it, but it doesn't really speak to me. This is gonna speak to a lot of people though. You?
At first glance,
Yeah.
if you like turn your head and kind of get a shot of it,
Yeah.
it looks like a Patriots fucking.
It does kind of look Patriots, right?
So
when
if
this
you're a
when they
Patriots fan,
when they first showed this to me
Yeah.
last year, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then Callan and Andrew and Ethan were in here, and they all about passed out in excitement for this.
of course they did.
So if you're a young guy and kind of cool, this probably speaks to you. Okay? If you're like me, this is dumb. But there you go. Those are available. And then a couple of beanies that I'm actually excited about.
Okay.
Okay. These are the Everyday Waffle Knit Beanie. Two colors. There's a blue, and then there's this one. This one's disgusting. There's this gray. See the skull rocks? It's the most metal thing that Simms makes.
They've been on that school thing recently.
Yeah. So this is like a waffle knit. Have you felt these?
No, sir.
Dude, feel that.
See what's going on here. Oh, that's a beanie.
Okay. It's really nice. It's
Oh.
got a nice touch. Okay. So there you go. Some new beanies, some amazing socks from Simms. Those are available now. Great segment, Jeff. All right. Let's wrap on a sick bag. So again, Bag Whore Ben here to tell you about the latest, greatest colorway in the new Dry Creek Roll Top backpack. This is the new midnight color. This is the full waterproof backpack. It is a roll top, so a huge storage. You put your shit in there, you get it in here, you roll it up, and it's fully waterproof. Okay, it's got padded sleeves, it's got water holders, it's got all kinds of things to store all your junk. It's dope, it's new. There you go from Simms. My head is so hot. I don't think I'm gonna recover all day. I need those rainbow trout socks to fan me. Jeff, fan me. Oh, actually, that's pretty damn amazing.
I know.
Yeah, you're good
It's
at
the
that.
socks.
Thank you, Jeff.
The amazing socks.
Thank you. Oh, that's good. All right, guys, that is a wrap. Just like that, the end. Jeff cooled me down. Now I'm ready to party. Happy Sunday to you guys. You know, if you guys have questions on anything that we covered, I'm sure you don't. We pretty much just nailed that. But should we have left something out, drop it down below in the comments and I'll get answers for you guys. On behalf of myself and Jeff and Griff and everybody here at the Hookup Tackle guys, thank you for giving us time on your Sunday mornings. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the community. We love being a part of it. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If it's not hot as hell where you guys are, I hope you're fishing and catching fish. But do me a favor, drink a delicious Orion. Hug your family. Go catch a big one. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace.